Bob Iger announced before the earnings call that the Walt Disney Company was buying $1.5 billion in the Fortnite studio known as Epic Games. Now, all over the web, people are saying Disney has bought Fortnite, or Mickey Mouse is going to be running around inside this game. Lots of confusion about what this means. We're here to tell you, though, we think this is actually a grand slam for Disney, and we'll explain why in just a minute. Hello folks, and welcome back to another video of pure, unadulterated, absolute excellence here on the WDW Pro channel. Joining us is Steve of Floral from Under a Rock. Steve/Floral, welcome back to the channel.
Thank you very much. It's an honor.
All right, folks, let's take a look now at Fortnite. And full disclosure, Steve, you play Fortnite, right?
I do. Actually, every Friday night, for the most part, me and Punkwaddle are trying to establish that as like Fortnite Friday. So,
yeah. Well, I play Fortnite as well, and I think there are quite a few people out there in our space who are not understanding what Disney is doing here. And we're talking about the earnings report where Disney declared just prior to it, well, there were two things they needed to get out, and that was because the prior quarter, in my estimation, was very poor. The box office was bad. Theme parks, they're declaring they were profitable. It's like, yay, you made a little bit, I guess. And then, of course, the subscribers was the worst thing. The subscribers, Disney lost millions of subscribers in 3 months. So they needed to counteract that, and they did. And investors seem to like this. Moana 2 was one of the big announcements coming this November. We have our concerns
with but no certifiable voice actors yet.
Well, except Ali E. Cravalho. I think Ali E. Cravalho is signed on because she was signed for the TV show. Okay. But yes, and that's a video coming up because, I mean, folks, the more we're learning, this is going to be a Herculean effort.
Dumpster fire of epic proportions.
To get this done by November. Well, we don't want to get too sidetracked, but just trust us. If they pull it off, it's incredible.
Pro's going to make a lot of money. That's all.
I'm telling you. And then they announced Fortnite and Disney, with Disney purchasing $1.5 billion in Epic Games, which puts them as one of the more significant owners of stock in Epic Games. So let's get to the announcement. Let's see why investors like this. And we're going to explain it to you folks. I promise, stick with us in a way that you've not heard anywhere else. This is the announcement from Disney and Epic Games. February 7th, 2024. The Walt Disney Company and Epic Games will collaborate on an all-new games and entertainment universe that will further expand the reach of beloved Disney stories and experiences. Disney will also invest $1.5 billion to acquire an equity stake in Epic Games alongside the multi-year project. The transaction is subject to customary closing conditions, including regulatory approvals. Now, Lego just also purchased $1 billion of Epic Games, and Lego got their own mode put in the game, which is taking on Minecraft, and to some degree of success. We'll see how that plays out. So I would suspect this $1.5 billion by Disney is likely to garner them an entirely new mode inside Fortnite. And Fortnite has really turned into its own sort of platform. So when we think of Fortnite, Steve, a lot of folks just think of the Battle Royale game. They don't think about that it now exists as sort of a place to play a multitude of games. But that's what Epic is attempting to do. And so far, they've been rather successful.
And just to be clear, though, the reason why some people don't know about it is because it is quite new. Like, I think it was just this season that they released the Rock Band element, the racing element, and the Lego element, all kind of at the same time. And so, like, they've had control over other games, but this is the first time they've brought it all within the same launch window. And that's the significant part about that. So if they're getting roped into that launch window and not just simply using their platform, that's going to be the interesting thing to note.
Sure. Now, I would recommend that folks check out a video coming out later this afternoon from That Park Place, where Jonas J. Campbell and a guest, they're going, I think it's Culture Casino, they're going to break down the finances behind this. But I just want people to understand that Disney did not purchase $1.5 billion just to put Mickey Mouse running around with Fortnite guns and building and all that. That's 100% not what this is. I also, there's the counter to this as well. On the other side of that, I've been watching, so on our side, in our group, I think it's misunderstood what this is. I think this is an entirely new game running on the Fortnite engine, which will be accessible via Fortnite in the same way that Lego Fortnite is. But on the other side, the Fortnite community also, I think, totally misunderstands this, Steven. Let me show you why. I have seen a number of content creators and analysts, commentators from the Fortnite community, and they're looking at this concept art and they're trying to figure out what this could be and how big this world is and all. I'm here to tell you, I think that's nonsense. I don't think this concept art is a reflection at all of anything that is going to be in the game. I could be wrong, but this looks to me very similar to the blue sky concept that we have seen come out of Disney parks, where it's just nonsense. And so I would point to a number of things that indicate to me that this is just literally blue sky content intended to get you hyped and excited. And so I would point to is, if you look at the Battle of Hoth back there, if you look at the Avatar Pandora Land to the right, these don't strike me as being anywhere remotely reflective of scale. So, for example, if you look back there, you'll see that the floating mountains are about the same size in Pandora as the AT-ATs in Hoth. And so that strikes me as this is just something put together in order to look impressive and to get people talking. But I don't suspect this is reflective of anything that's going in the game. Steve, your thoughts?
Well, when I look at it, right, look at the little island with all of their, to the left, the island of all of their IPs.
Looks like Wreck-It Ralph.
It really does. And so I'm going to assume that that's probably what they modeled it off of. But then all of those things are kind of like their own little weird, unique island, except for Pandora. And so it's honestly, it just looks like it was just a hobbled together idea.
Yeah.
And
put
somehow,
some IPs on some islands and make it look good for the investors.
Yeah. And the other thing that goes through my mind is like, I mean, I can't see Epic Games saying like, well, if you've bought in and we're having access and we're creating this whole thing, you are going to let us use Disney princesses. I mean, Epic has access, Fortnite has access to all of those different IPs in their game. Why wouldn't they want the Disney princesses running around with the different guns and all that kind of stuff? Which, I mean, would be hilarious to have the squad of Cinderella, Belle.
Right. I don't think that's going to happen.
But I can see it happening. And because, I mean, if they've had the rights to, like, you got Optimus Prime, the Ninja Turtles, Captain America, and Batman, and they can all be playing together at the same time. Why wouldn't Disney want in on that? Like,
well,
they may not have
more. I think they'll have more collaborations in terms of characters that's appropriate for. I really would struggle to see the princesses running around. I don't think you're going to see Snow White
they
knocking out somebody with a sniper.
Fortnite wants to get the girls. That's one way to get.
Well,
the girls
I agree with that. There are some options. For example, you could see Brave being brought into this. I'd have to think about the girl properties. Yeah, Mulan could work. So some opportunities there.
But that's what my kind of general observation is. Like they clearly want to bring that IP into this game, which is already flooded with other IPs, because Disney doesn't want to be left out. And so when I'm looking at this, I mean, Star Wars is everywhere. Star Wars is dead right now. We all know this.
Yes, but it's utterly dead. It's dead, and I hope they put Cara Dune in Fortnite.
But ironically, it's the most prominent IP all throughout this whole thing.
Well, we got to. Here, artist, make something out of this. What can you turn into a video game of little islands real fast? I know what Star Wars stuff looks like. All right, draw that. So, Steve, tell the folks out there who don't understand this, though, what is Lego Fortnite, for example? And then I want to talk about the concurrent numbers, because there's some confusion over that as well, with some folks thinking that Fortnite is a dying game or that there's a sequel in production. Can you tell us what Lego Fortnite is?
Yep. So Lego Fortnite, for those who do not know, it's I've got up to level 4, I think, in it, just for the stars. But essentially, it's survival mode with Lego. So you run around, you collect your wood, your stone, all that kind of stuff, and then you can build your Lego pieces inside little machines, and then you get your parts and all that kind of stuff. You can throw it all together. The schematics are basically all there for you. You just need to, as you level up, you get access to more schematics, and you can build your village. Other people can come in and play in your village and do all that kind of stuff. So it is just very much the Lego version of
no
Minecraft.
guns, no violence. It's a kid game that sits inside Fortnite, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so that is attempting to take on Minecraft, and to some degree it's been successful. Now, there's been some thoughts from the folks in our community saying, well, Fortnite is a dying game. It's going downhill. Why would Disney buy it at $1.5 billion? And I think that's due to a major misunderstanding that we'd like to rectify and clarify. And so it is true that Fortnite is down currently at the beginning of February, although at the time of this video is released with the new Ninja Turtles mini season that just launched, might go way back up. But comparing Fortnite at the beginning of February to Fortnite over the Christmas holiday, I think is an unfair comparison. And the concurrent players for Fortnite ebbs and flows depending on the release of what they call seasons inside the game. So they have content releases, and when new content releases, there's a new explosion of players, and then that tapers off, and then new content comes out, and that's a steady flow. So I want to be careful about folks out there assuming that Fortnite is on the decline. That I don't think that's the case at all. I think Fortnite is doing very well, and I think Fortnite's going to be around for at least a decade.
I think it's doing better now than it was a year ago or 2 years ago.
Oh, yes. Yes, right? Absolutely.
So, because literally their numbers, they do this, but each one, every time people come back for the next season, it gets higher, right?
Right.
And so now, like they do drop bots in the games to.
Well, that's a psychology thing. That's to let some people be able to get a kill or two in Fortnite proper, the legacy.
Exactly. It's the throwing the dog a bone, but also it artificially gives that feel of there being even bigger play base. But
yeah, and it's a dopamine hit. It's a dopamine hit for the little guys who aren't very good at the game, and they're never going to get a kill otherwise. And so you give them a bot.
Yeah.
You know.
And so, I mean, in an actual match, you're probably going up against about 80 people out of 100. Right. So, but that doesn't mean that the game's not thriving. It means that they're just throwing the dog a bone. And I think they have far more servers now, especially considering everything that they got going on. There's no way they haven't like quadrupled the size of their servers in the last year. So anyway, that's
now so let's talk about this from the Disney side. One, I don't think Disney should have spent $1.5 billion on this. Okay, let me just say that because because you can make a video game on your own for $300 to $400. But here's the problem for Disney, folks. Listen now, this is really important. Disney in the last 20 years, they decided under Bob Iger to not have a presence in the video game industry in terms of their ability to generate any content. Now they can license it out, and I think that Disney could have had a much better deal and bought much less stock and worked out a licensing deal with Epic, because Disney has the biggest IP vault in the world.
And that's the thing. That's where I stand on it, is they could have just said, here, let's license the product. We want final creative say, but here you go. And you will give you access.
They could even said that.
And Disney could have just made money hand over fist from Epic.
Steve,
but because
Bob Iger is terrible at this, right? So he overpays for everything.
Yep.
So, but let's set that aside for a moment, folks. Again, that part plays covering the financial aspect of this. Let's set that to the side. We both agree this is a huge overspend, and it's unnecessary, because Disney should have the leverage here, because they have by far and away the most popular IPs, even if they've damaged them, that Fortnite would be interested in. Now, setting that aside, in terms of the potential for Disney and for Epic Games, I have to say that this is a home run grand slam for Disney, because, and here's why, they don't have the ability to make games. They don't have that. They can't make their own video games, and they haven't in a very, very long time. Yes, we're looking at you, Lucas Games from way back in the day, but so they've annihilated their ability to make their own games. They've got to find somebody who can do this, and Epic has proven that they're very capable, and they're probably going to be dominant. Your other option was maybe Nintendo, but Epic has the ability to distribute these out to way more platforms, because Nintendo is focused on first party. And so for Disney, the opportunity to get into the gaming space and have their own very high quality game that they can believe in and trust in and give out to consumers, this is a huge win. They don't have that with Electronic Arts whatsoever. They don't have that with Bethesda. They have it with Epic Games. And so for that, even though the cost is insane and probably a bad idea on that cost, it's still a win in terms of the potential. Steve, what do you think about that argument?
I think that the potential is there, but as you scroll back down to the opening paragraph, this is all stuck on subject to customary closing conditions, including regulatory approvals.
I would be shocked if they're blocked from buying.
It's
Epic.
Not even done yet. And that's
correct. It's not done.
That's
yet.
The thing. Like none
and
of
that's
this.
why this is blue sky. By the way, that's why this is nonsense art.
So even us projecting, like all of the regulatory bodies might be like, you can do this, and all of this blue sky stuff is gone. Disney can't make their open world area or whatever they want to do with Epic. They just say, no, you can do IPs just like everybody else. Right? Like, I mean, they probably won't, but they could. And arguably so. And so, again, like that's just where I'm looking at this, and Disney doesn't even know what they want to do with it. Disney, like we just talked about this, Disney has an open slot in November. They're stuffing Moana 2 in it. And they haven't even signed off on all the actors other than one. So like this is where I look at this and I'm like, okay, there's some potential here, but that has been the history of the last, well, for sure the last 6 years. There's been potential, but Disney has shot themselves in the foot a bunch of times. Like, that's why I'm surprised they didn't go with, like, say, Bethesda, because Bethesda would be all on board with the exact same values as Disney, whereas Epic isn't necessarily.
Right. Well, I just want to point out, too, folks, that in terms of what I think Disney is after, I think they're after another Disney Infinity. So that's what I would suggest that you can look for. Now, take away the little action figures, that, you know, all that kind of stuff. Take that out.
Those are called microtransactions.
Right. So everything digital, but that's what they want. They want a Disney metaverse game inside the Fortnite engine for people to go click on. And apparently that was worth $1.5 billion. Now, I'm going to surprise some people by saying that ultimately, I think this was a very good decision on Disney's part. If it succeeds. If it succeeds, the scalability is incredible.
Yep. And that's the if, because is Disney going to Disney?
That's all they know how to do, Steve. But this is finally, folks. And I mean, you know, we look for positive news for Disney. It's sometimes hard to come by. And by that, I mean, it's been 90% negative over the last year. And I don't think it's going to stop. But I do think that this was a major win. Yep. Maybe Bob Iger stumbled and bumbled his way into a $1.5 billion win. Overpaid tremendously. But in terms of the things that were announced, well, this is way better than plugging gambling into ESPN, because that's going to get you in all kinds of regulatory trouble. This is way better than rushing a Moana 2 sequel. Do this right, and this will make a ton of money. This will make everybody happy. Let's hope. But that's my analysis for today. Steve, for the folks out there, where can they find you on this great, big, beautiful web?
You can find me on Floral from Under a Rock, except you won't necessarily see me regularly. You will see Floral and Wilton and the crew and Punkwaddle and Mrs. Flu. And didn't mean for that to rhyme, but we're all there, and we run.
What about Steve? What about Wilton? There are people who are concerned about him. They said that Wilton is looking a little bit different these days. How long until Wilton is back into full Wiltonish? Oh no, he's missing a horn.
He's missing the horn. So if I'll show you the behind the scenes. There's the little peg. That was
maybe that's what's wrong with Wilton. Maybe that's why he's been such a troll, is the pegs that are in his brain, his noggin.
Peghead.
So how long until Wilton's horn is returned, do you think?
Well, I'm thinking what I got to do is drill it out, and then
oh my gosh, this sounds painful.
I'm going to do some skull surgery and screw in and do some washers or something. I don't know, but we'll figure.
There you go, folks. If you're wondering who should be the one to put Buzzy back in the Pavilion of Wonders of Life, Steve will be on it as soon as Wilton is repaired. All right, folks, if you like content like this, consider clicking the like button, share, subscribe, and when you click it, you do stick it to the algorithms. It's the notification bell. Drop a comment down below and let us know your thoughts. Remember to check out That Park Place, the video where they're breaking down the finances behind this epic, this not epic universe, but this epic and Fortnite collaboration. And also, folks, don't forget that over this weekend, we're going to be breaking down why we think it is very likely the Gina Carano lawsuit will go to discovery and even trial. Hang tight. We'll break it down in just a few. And Steve, just so that folks out there know who's behind all those wonderful things that they see at the end of these videos, could you just do a quick rundown of some of the voices that you do for us? Maybe Floral, maybe Wilton. What do you got? Is that okay to even ask? You may say, no, Pro, I don't do that publicly.
I can do Floral's voice. That's pretty straightforward. And then transferring into Wilton, that's not so difficult either. And, jumping into Jose talking like this.
And then Kocho, he's just a higher pitched voice of really, I guess, a whole range up higher than I am normally. And then we have Melinda talking like this. And so I mean, there's more of a cast over there that I'm seeing. But so there you go.
Beautiful. For now, though, we must say goodbye. But folks, it has been an honor, a joy, an attitude of gratitude for each and every one of you. So, as we always say, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, keep having fun. Go check out Floral from Under a Rock.
My brain is fried and I can't think of things to do to people, like Jonas or culture. I mean, leaving them in this place of what's next is ideal and all, but other than going to an extreme that would rip them limb from limb or something, I got nothing. Jose, what do you think?
My name's Jose. We could reenact the chess scene with that Greg from Kocho Casino Royale.
What? That doesn't even make sense.
Okay, we could reattempt to cook Jonas like a big fish on the island of the Clone Wars. Or is that too redundant?
Why don't you try talking slower and louder? You're like a woman. Wait. Oh, I don't know. What if we do a play on words? We could gamble with Kocho Casino and play something like Russian roulette, which I'm sure you could identify with. You foreigners all sound and look the same. And Jonas, well, he's an investigative reporter. So what if we flip the script and ask him some probing questions?
No.
No.
Oh man, fine.
That's weird. No. I said investigate.
Where were you keeping that?
You guys could do that. Where's that Or you could go to that part. Ow! Oh my head. Why'd you do that, man? You guys are insane. Oh, I'm out of here. Jose, I think deep down, we really understand each other. Or not. I know. I need one of those White House translators, like for Joe Biden. That'll help me with him. Perfect. Well, maybe you can get them on eBay or something.